So what interesting moments are still in your head from these talks and programs?
The one that is still very much in my head, I've been thinking about it a lot as I approach my own graduation, is one from the last talk. Kim Townson, recently retired English professor, spoke about the tumult of the 60s on campus, and then Dean Aronson, the health professions advisor, read from his journal. He's from the class of '69, read from his journal that an entry he wrote at commencement or after commencement. And that story of the 1969 commencement really blew my mind about how the campus came together, how everybody was singing, that the speaker was a student who was in a band like I am, and sang a song in front of everybody, and the families were singing, everybody was standing and cheering. So that was, I thought, a great moment to end this series on. And it's something I've been thinking about a lot since I'll be on the quad graduating myself in a few weeks.
I was in England at the time, and I missed that tumultuous commencement. But I kept in touch with the legendary Theodore Baird, who was retiring that year as professor of English. And he was appalled by the whole thing. He thought the singing was just awful, and the electric guitars and the noise and so on. And evidently, he turned to the trustees sitting up there. I guess he was with an honorary degree person. Turned to the trustees after this had concluded and said, "Did you ever think of selling this place?" And that was the only laugh moment, I think, during Townsend's serious speech.
What brought people together in that way? What led up to that?
Well, this was again, I wasn't here, but it was the spring of the moratorium. That was the first cancellation of classes, and everybody got together, and I can't say much more than that, except here was this great teacher who had been for decades, who had assumed that education was the story here, and suddenly here was somebody singing "Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands," and anyway, I sympathize with him.